Here we'll be learning about two motivating stories related to environmental conservation. One is about Chipko movement and the other one is related to a man called the Forest Man of India. Chipko movement. The Chipko movement was actually dates back to 1730 AD in a village in Rajasthan. In 1730-31, Amrita Devi Bishnoi, along with other 363 Bishnois, sacrificed their lives for the protection of khejri trees in a village near Jodhpur in Rajasthan. These trees were being harmed for the construction of a new palace. The Bishnois are communities that are dependent on the various forest products for their survival. Amrita Devi and other Bishnois showed courage by embracing the trees to protect them, and this was a non-violent protest in which their lives were sacrificed. The second time this movement took place again was in 1970 in Uttarakhand and went on to become a huge environmental movement all over the world. The Chipko Andolan or the Chipko movement is a movement that practiced methods of satyagraha when both male and female activists from Uttarakhand played a very important role. That was about Chipko movement. Why it was called as Chipko movement? Because the women and the men in the original Bishnoi community it was only women, but whereas here in case of Uttarakhand, women as well as men, they actually embraced the trees and they stood there. They said, "You have to kill us before you cut down the trees." That is the kind of love that they had for their environment or the trees. The second story is about a man called J- Jadav Molai Peang, and he was a person. He was born in a nomadic tribe of Assam. He was born in 1963, and since that time he has been working for the environmental conservation. Now he, from the age of 17, he has been planting trees and he has been part of the government's forest department for social afforestation project on the 200 hectares of land. He was one of the few forest workers who were looking after this project, and he went on working on that project even after the project was over. As a result of his continuous work of planting and caring for the trees, the whole barren land became a forest over an area of 1360 acres. Imagine, from the age of 16, he has been continuously planting trees in an infertile barren land, and slowly this became one of the big jungle in Assam. He has been awarded with the prestigious Padma Shri award by the government, and he is known as the jungle man or the forest man of India, and that place is known as Mulai Jungle based on his name. The next topic is related to biodiversity. What is biodiversity? Biodiversity is the richness of living organism in nature due to presence of varieties of organism, ecosystem and genetic variation within a species. Or in simple words, what we mean is the existence of a number of different kinds of animals and plants which together make a good and healthy environment is called as biodiversity. That means for an environment to flourish, we need to have different varieties of plants as well as animals. We cannot say that we'll only be having the monkeys or the humans or the dogs or the cattle. We require different kinds of animals as well as plants and their interaction. Now there are three ways or three levels in which the diversity occurs. The first one is called as genetic diversity. What is the meaning of genetic diversity? Genetic diversity means the occurrence of diversity among the organism of same species. For example, say human beings. We all are human beings. We all belong to the same species. But are we exactly alike? No, we are very much different from each other. Not only as a humans, but we are even different even if we are brothers and sisters, or we belong to the same family. There is certain uniqueness in us, and we have learned that this variation or these genetic changes comes due to sexual reproduction, and this genetic diversity or genetic variation is extremely and extremely important for our survival. That is the reason that each one of has a unique interest. Some of us become doctors, some of us become engineers, some of us become teachers, some are dancers, or some of are good at singing, some of are good in maths. There has to be a diversity. Otherwise all would be teachers, all would be only doctors. No, that's not possible. We require a good genetic diversity to survive. The next one is species diversity. Species means there are innumerable species of organism that is occurring in the nature. This is called as species diversity. There are thousands of types of plants and animals and microorganisms, and each of them have their particular role to play in the environment. We cannot say that this particular microorganism is not good for us, or this kind of plant is not good for us. It's nothing like that. Each and every species have a role to play in the overall ecosystem or the environment. Ecosystem diversity. We saw that there are many types of ecosystem within the bigger ecosystem called as Earth. It can be a forest, it can be a pond, it can be a small aquarium, any kind of an ecosystem. Ecosystem is formed through the interaction between plants, animals, and their habitat, and their changes in the environment. Each ecosystem has its own characteristics: animals, plants, microbes, and abiotic factors, and they are important in their own way. Whether it's a forest ecosystem, whether it's a river ecosystem, whether it's a pond ecosystem, or it's an artificial ecosystem like an aquarium. So we need to understand that biodiversity is very, very important for the conservation of all species and for the conservation of the environment. Now, we as a human being need to understand that we have a role to play in this conservation of the biodiversity. What role can we play? We can be a conservator, that means we take care and we protect. We can be an organizer, that we organize events and awareness camps and etc. to make people aware about it. You can be a guide. You can be a guide in explaining people about the importance of different kinds of plants and animals and things like that. You can be a simple person who is just taking care of some plants. Each of us can contribute to the environment by reducing our wastage, by reusing and recycling, by planting trees or maybe small plants in our balconies, etc., which will be important for the environment. What we need to understand is we have to ourselves introspect and think that what role do we want to play in this conservation of biodiversity. How can biodiversity be conserved? Protecting rare species, establishing national parks and sanctuaries where they can be protected, declaring some region as bioreserves. Bioreserves are places where we can take it, they're like sanctuaries actually. Project for conservation of special species, conserving all plants and animals, observing the rules and taking care, maintaining record of traditional knowledge. Slowly we are losing out on a lot of knowledge that was known to our forefathers because they were farmers and they knew, they interacted with the plants and animals at a day-to-day basis. Most of us are nowadays not interacting so much with our environment. We stay in the cities and we don't come across so much to the close to the environment. So it is important for us that for the species to grow, for biodiversity to be conserved, we should preserve the knowledges that was existing in the olden days. All over the world, people worships different element of nature. For example, the Egyptian worship the sun god. We also in our Indian culture have always been worshipping the elements of nature as well as the trees. So, to protect the biodiversity as well as certain special types of trees and etc., what is created is something called as a sacred grove. A sacred grove or a sacred wood are any grove of trees that are of special religious importance to a particular culture. They are like part of forest which is conserved in the name of God and considered to be sacred. They are in fact as sanctuaries conserved by the society and not by the government forest department. As it has been conserved in the name of God, it has special protection. These clusters of thick forest are present not only in the western Ghats of India but in the entire country. More than 13,000 sacred groves have been reported in India. There are many groves which are present all over India. It's like places where the trees are worshipped and protected.